Hi Dan, goalless draw here against Derby. What was your take of your team's performance?
It's a tough one to take. I think it's maybe a story of the season. I think we've registered 17 opportunities on goal there in the second half, and we haven't managed to convert one into the back of the net. So we're disappointed. We've got a really flat group. Obviously, things have gone our way in other games, and we've not been able to capitalise. So as you can imagine, the group's really flat. The staff are flat, but that's what we've been dealt. And we've got to go again and prepare for a really tough game next week.
I mean, it isn't over yet, but is it more frustrating that Forest dropped points today and you couldn't capitalise?
Listen, I said last week, Brighouse away is always a tough game, really tough game. So anything could have happened, but I did say to the girls up there, if we don't deal with ourselves, then it doesn't matter what happens elsewhere, and that's what we've seen today. Listen, there wasn't a lack of trying. I thought the girls were excellent in everything but putting the ball in the back of the net. So yeah, disappointing, and that's probably that for this season. I think we know that, but we got 2 tough games left plus the final to sort of look forward to, and we have to do that.
What was your message to your players at the breakdown?
I actually felt the first half was quite good. We give a good account of ourselves. Listen, Derby are a great side. They're a really good side, really well organised. Got young players who are hungry, and I thought they were fantastic. But we controlled their big moments, and then we turned them into good moments for ourselves. So it was more of the same. I felt we could get in certain areas, sliding down the sides, and it proved that we could do. But as I said, we can't continue to create the amount of chances that we do and not put the ball in the back of the net. So 0-0 is probably a fair result overall.
Well, it was more of the same in that second half. You creating chances but couldn't take them. It just wasn't going to be today, was it, Dan?
No, I think it wasn't going to be. It's always an easy way out, to be honest. We got to be better, and the girls know that. In those clinical moments, we got to be better. As I said, I thought it was a fantastic performance. I thought we dominated the second half really well, other than a couple of opportunities. But it is what it is now. We've got to put it aside and go again.
Well, we've got to talk about it, Dan. I mean, from where I sat, it looked a stonewall penalty. What's your opinion on it?
I can't keep watching what I watch week in, week out from the officiating. We're talking about livelihoods, people's dreams, girls giving everything week in, week out. And listen, that isn't ultimately why we won't go on to have success this year in the league. That's down to the players, but you work hard all game for a moment like that. In a 0-0, in a tough game where you're playing fourth in the table, you work hard for a moment like that. And to not get it and then be told after the game that he made a mistake and it was a penalty, that's not good enough. They come here and they're professional in what they do, and I can accept mistakes, but not when it's week in, week out, and it seems to be coming right across the league. It's not just me as an isolated manager. So hugely disappointment. Fair play to him for owning up and taking responsibility of a mistake, but that mistake's paid a hefty price for us today. If we convert the penalty, which isn't a foregone conclusion, but that's it. That's what we've got to deal with. And as I said, hopefully there'll be good investment and we can help these officials be better in what they do. Because listen, they do a great job, and we can't do football without them. They're here and they're passionate about what they do, but we've got to help them be better. We want the whole game to be better, whether that's players, staff, referees, pitches, whatever that is, has to be better.
And emotions at the end kind of boiled over with Tammy getting sent off. I mean, she's going to be a big miss for you now, isn't she?
Yeah, I don't think we'll be appealing that. I don't think it's Tammy. I've had a chat with the referee. I think he's probably got that one wrong as well. And we've spoken there. Hopefully, he includes the right stuff in his report. Because it wasn't Tammy. It was a player that we'll deal with separately. But we'll see. Only time will tell on that one. Hopefully, she doesn't pay the price again for another mistake.
And is there any updates on Beth Roberts and Maz Gauntlet?
Yeah, Maz is slowly progressing. She's having a bit of time to recover. Beth Roberts was unfortunately picked up a bug in work this week. She hasn't been able to recover from that, so she's been out with a bug, but hopefully nothing too serious.
And you've just completed your first season here at the Buckshead. How hard has it been to adapt to this ground, Dan?
Yeah, this has been a lot of positives, loads of positives. The crowd here again today, over 600 people, amazing. The pitch is superb, but it's certain moments that's probably cost us this year. And listen, we can't come up with all the excuses. You know, it's a great facility, and we've got to get used to it. We want to play here. We want this to be a fortress, but it hasn't been the fortress that we wanted it to. You know, a couple of slip ups here and there. But that was expected. You know, it's a different surrounding. It's bigger. It's more intense. There's a bigger crowd here. The pitch is different. The pitch is bigger. So it's been a great first season. But you know, there's certain moments we've not been happy with, and hopefully going through into the new season we can put them right. So we do turn this into a bit of a fortress next year moving forward.
And a word for the fans today, Dan, because I was absolutely amazing, wasn't I, in that last 10 minutes trying to roar the team on.
Yeah. Listen, they've been the same all season. Been fantastic. As I said, over 600 of them turned out today. The Swedish Wolves as well. They were fantastic. So yeah, all season, you know, it's been brilliant. You know, we think about the 4,000 at Molineux, but you know, it's these ones, the 600-700 that turn up week in, week out to watch us here, that have really roared us through some big moments this season, and helped us some through difficult times as well. So real big thank you from me to them. Doesn't look like we're going to be able to provide them with what we set out at the start of the season, but you got to stay with this group. You know, as I said, they work tirelessly week in, week out. They're an amazing group of girls, and I've no doubt that in the coming years that they'll get the reward that the whole club deserves. We've just got to keep pushing and stay together and make sure we're ready.
We've got another big game to prepare for next week, Burnley away. What have you the girls now got to prepare for that?
Listen, it's going to be tough next week. First off, we've got to see how Dest is. We've got to see the situation with Tammy. You know, and we'll go from there. But yeah, it's going to be tough next week. We know that. They're a great side, and I think they're right back in it now after the results today. So we'll see what this week brings, and we'll go from there.
And you end the season with a cup final at Molineux. Does that make it even more special?
Yeah. Listen, we'll deal with that when it comes. It'll be a fantastic occasion, that. But in the meantime, we've still got 2 big games to go. We want to finish strong. I think that's 7 unbeaten now. We want to make sure we finish strong and prepare ourselves as well as we can going into that cup final and what's to come beyond that.
Thank you, Dan.
Thanks, Tom.